My latest thoughts on this and my initial thoughts tonight kick off tonight's show by way of our starting point. The National Guard is ready. The police are prepared to don their urban warfare gear once again. Elected officials seem to be bracing for riots. Preachers and community leaders are pleading for personal restraint. Even Michael Brown Sr., the father of the shooting victim that prompted the tragedy, is publicly asking for peace. Throughout the nation, even right here in Pittsburgh, there are conversations and action items being put into place to make sure that the reactionary call for calm after another tragic, unnecessary, and troubling incident of alleged police misconduct towards an African American is countered with civic responses that can be contained. Unfortunately, that may also include civil disobedience that ends up being more camera-friendly than results-based. By way of shoddy leadership and blurred perspectives, Ferguson serves as yet another American reminder that our failure to address some tumors within our civic body always leads to an outbreak of cancer throughout our body politic. However, dying a silent, premature death is a needless tragedy if the word for life-saving action is muted. Everyone has heard the call for calm being directed at the Ferguson activists. Has anyone heard as loud of a cry for accountability from the folks in representative government that have allowed this tragedy to erupt into our world-renowned fiasco? Why is the Ferguson mayor still in office? Why is the Ferguson police chief still in place? St. Louis County prosecuting attorney Bob McCullough, a man who has a well-known personal bent on the Wilson-Brown dynamic and an attitude that reflects a jaundiced view of pursuing charges in this matter. Why did he guide the prosecutor's side in the grand jury process? We have heard the concerns for the constitutional rights of Officer Darren Wilson, that fundamental right to be held innocent until proven guilty. Yet we continue to ignore that constitutional principle at the hands of police and in the courtroom of public opinion when it comes to pulling over black drivers, ask Leon Ford Jr., stopping black pedestrians, ask Jordan Miles, and the thousands of stop and frisk victims, and piecing together controversial shootings, ask Trayvon Martin, and unfortunately and tragically, now Michael Brown. We hear the calls for civic integrity from public figures despite a history of legal duplicity when race, law, and conflict come together. Yet we overlook the character assassination of dead teenagers, victimized Americans, and civil rights activists whenever it fits the sanitized narrative that some politicians, some pundits, and sometimes even some of the police try to peddle in order to diffuse moral rumblings in our society. Protest and proactive steps are necessary to bridge our divided realities in America, especially after the aftermath of the grand jury's decision in Ferguson. We cannot be a global leader as a just leader if our definitions of civil rights and justice change with the drop of a hat, the change of a zip code, or the darkening of one's skin. Just the same, we cannot be strong as citizens if we continue to weaken much of our nation with second-class citizenship. More protests are on the horizon, but time will tell if tangible, positive, permanent change for all Americans will be there as well. That's our starting point. Time for you to get to the point. You can give us a call at 412-333-PCNC. You can also send us an email at NightTalk, GTTP@WPXI.com. You can also tweet the show by logging into Twitter.com and tweeting us at NightTalk, GTTP. Now